Yes.
And that you have to have a master.
You have to.
Let me tell you, Ernest, the wife I'm going to make now.
Yes.
And the wife when I was 28
is not the same.
Those are two different people.
Because you're submitted to God.
Completely.
And we say, even if you got Prince Charming, Cinderella, no matter how awesome they are, they can never be the fourth member of the Trinity.
Hey everyone, my name is Angie Murenga. You're watching Just Angie. Today is Lifestyle Thursday. I'm continuing a series that I started with Ernest Wamboye, and today we're going to talk about Basics, which is his book. I'm sure he's going to tell us where it's available. First of all, I love the play on Bay. Bay is Bay.
Yes.
B-A-E is the Bay, and then the Basics. And it says, setting the right foundations to marry well. Let me tell you, this one, you don't have a billboard? Setting the right foundations to marry well.
Yes.
Because the thing is, everything is about foundations.
Exactly.
We miss it out, but everything is about foundations.
Yeah.
And also we must marry well.
Yes.
You know, we do everything well, Ernest. Everything.
Yes,
we get degrees, we get studies, we do strategic researches, we work hard, we plan how we're gonna work. Yes. But the one thing that we don't plan for is marriage.
We succeed on the peripheral, but not on the center.
And that is everything.
That's true.
Because it sets generations moving. So tell me about Basics. Why Basics? What's the traction with Basics? What can the viewers learn? Yes.
So my wife and I, in our Boy Meets Girl conferences, we get so many questions from young people. And the questions are all the same. You know, every time they come, it's the same old questions. And we kept wondering, is it the same people asking us the same questions, or are they different people? But we could hear the same questions, you know. Should I marry an unbeliever? Is it wrong to date an unbeliever? You know, my parents don't want me to get married. Or tribe issues, issues such as, you know, what do I do in my singlehood? Fine, I understand singlehood is not a bad thing. What do I do during this time? You know, how do I forgive my ex? Just same old questions. And we thought, how about we just compile all these things in a written format, you know? And so I've written 3 books before this. And so I thought, you know, let me just put this in writing. So my wife was really drew from her experience before she got married, just learning from, I gave her a book before we got married called, it's by Jerusha Clark. What's it called? It's called When I Get Married. And it talks about the expectations that women have before they get married and how she just busts every bubble.
Good.
All right?
Need to burst
she just
them quickly.
Busts those bubbles.
Oh, hallelujah. Don't get me started. Burst them.
Exactly.
The myths.
So my wife brought in that experience, and I just shared from also my own experience and just the things we've learned. And we just drew from the scriptures, and we compiled all these topics and wrote Basics. So
first of all, let me tell you. See now, first of all, everyone is drawing their information. Not everyone. I don't like blanket statements.
Yes.
A lot of people draw their information from Nollywood, Bollywood,
yes,
Hollywood, Riverwood to do with relationships.
Yes.
That's where they're getting their information from,
exactly,
which is very dangerous. So the fact that it's based on the foundations of God and from your own life, that's powerful.
Yes.
And then the other thing is that every girl, from as young as I don't know when, even when you tell them to do a game, dreams of her marriage, has painted her wedding day, let's say her wedding day, in her head. But there's the wedding day and then there's the marriage.
It's true.
These are 2 different things.
Exactly.
And I always laugh at weddings because I'm usually praying and interceding. Guys are happy. Happy. We're getting married. We know each other. And you know, we got this. And you're like,
that you follow the wedding day. Ooh. But what about what happens afterwards? What happens after the 6 hours are done? You know? And another inspiration we got for writing the book Basics is because whenever people would ask us, hey, Ernest, I'm getting married or I'm thinking of getting into a relationship, send me a few books that I should read. And all the books we recommended were books from people outside the country, in the US.
Our context, our African context.
And I thought, we don't have local books. You know, they're talking about when they went out on the summer camp. I'm thinking, we don't have summer.
We don't have summer camp,
we have rain, you know. So I thought, let's write something that our people can understand. The common thing between, I would say, these books and those books is that it's founded on the Word of God. It's founded on the Scriptures. And so upon that premise, we came up with the book Basics.
Wow. Yes. So can I maybe see some chapters?
Sure.
I want my specs. Where am I? Okay, there's stuff in here. I don't know what is in here, but let's look at some of the chapters. Maybe you can look at, or maybe you can look at some of the chapters and tell us about them. Or, hey, it even starts with testimonies, or tell us. First, it says first things first.
Yes.
Okay, take us through what is first things first.
So, first things first, we know whenever you talk about premarital relationships, people get very fundamental. You hear, oh, Christians shouldn't date, Christians should court, you know, all those fundamental things that they get to all those, exactly, and all those nitty-gritties. And we knew, and even from our writing, we've got people write to us and say, why are you telling people to date? Why are you telling people to court? So we just thought, we're not ready to deal with all that drama, right? So first things first, we're talking about premarital relationships. Whether you want to call that dating or courting, we
and
really
what you're
don't
saying
care.
is it's a relationship that is leading to marriage.
That's it.
Can we just have
That's
that
it.
statement?
And that's the bottom line of the
That's
introduction.
good,
Say,
yeah.
the most important thing is that these relationships are
is
aimed
leading
for
to marriage. We're not.
What you call
it's not
them,
that it trisects thing.
exactly.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Next chapter is you need a master.
Yes.
And
And
I
so
like that.
the first few chapters talk about thriving in your singlehood, right? The need for you to be an individual
Yes.
before you step out and bring someone into your life, you know. And we talk about what the Bible mentions idolatry, and many times we look at it. Idolatry in the Bible, you think of just
As
a far-off
things.
concept of, you know, a golden calf in the desert, you know. But the heart of idolatry is looking to anything else other than God.
Yes.
For
And
your hope,
so we do that a lot for your hope.
for your hope in life. You're right. And so in that section, we ask the individual, before you even think of get to a relationship, where is the hope of your life? Where do you get your source of affirmation,
true.
appreciation, and acceptance? How do you know you're significant in this world?
Can I tell you something funny?
Yes.
I did that about 2 Sundays ago. I was shocked in something called Mentimeter.
Yes.
So we took Mentimeter to church and asked people where do they get their answers for life solutions.
Yeah.
I was not ready for the answers.
Oh, God.
I began to intercede
My
immediately.
mother.
No, but the biggest ones they were par on par.
Yeah.
Was Google
Yes.
and the Bible.
Yes.
I couldn't believe they were on the same sentence. I
Yeah.
almost collapsed in a heap.
Yeah.
Google
Yeah.
and the Bible.
Yeah.
I knew we were dealing with a different generation.
And you see, just from those answers, it reveals that many people
Yes.
do not have the identity in the gospel. You know, you feel you're important because of the job you have, because of the looks that you have, because something. What's your consolation? And we tell them the first chapter, if your consolation is not the God of the gospel, if your consolation is not the one who died for you, this is what will happen when you get into a relationship. You will make an idol out of that person.
That is so true.
You will demand heaven from
true.
them.
It
all
is
right?
true. And they'll never be able to satisfy
And they won't,
that.
no matter
Which is
how awesome
no
they
matter
are.
what they do, they will never
Yes.
be able to satisfy
Yeah.
that. And I love the fact that I always tell people to enjoy their singlehood. Me,
Yes.
sometimes I think now I need to put on the reverse. I think I'm enjoying the singlehood too much. Now
it's
I
time.
Need to, now it's time. Because now I'm like, you really do. I enjoy my own space, my
Exactly.
own time. I can do what I want.
Yes.
If I want to wake up and go to Samburu, I go to Samburu.
Yes.
Now what is all this thing? I have to ask for permission to do please.
And many
It's too
people
much
don't do
stress.
that.
And then even in my space, do you know how I enjoy my space? I enjoy my space. I do what I want to do in my space.
Yes.
But now it's inviting somebody else into that space, or
Exactly.
you being invited to that space, and you guys doing life together.
Yes.
So it's good that you burst that myth.
Yes.
And that you have to have a master.
You have to.
Let me tell you, Ernest, the wife I'm going to make now,
Yes.
and the wife when I was 28.
Is not the same.
Those are two
person.
different people.
Because you're submitted to God.
Completely.
And we say, even if you got Prince Charming, Cinderella, no matter how awesome they are, they can never be the fourth member of the Trinity. All right? The only satisfaction you can truly get is from God. You know, someone I read a post this week. Someone sent me on WhatsApp said, when God wanted to make the fish, He spoke to the sea. When God wanted to make the animals, He spoke to the ground. When God wanted to make the trees, He spoke to the ground. But when God wanted to make man,
He spoke to himself.
You know,
Yeah, it's very powerful.
I'd almost say
He spoke to
fish
himself.
need water.
Yes.
The animals need land.
So
just
man
as we need
and
God.
woman needs God.
We are made
We
from
can't
Him.
live without
And so
Him.
He's our fuel.
Yeah.
He is our fuel. So you must start with God. You must have your identity set in Him. And after that, you need a purpose.
I saw that. That's why I'm laughing.
Yes.
I'm like, yeah.
And I know you're big on
you
this.
are.
Yes.
You know, that's
You're
my
really
whole
big on
life. You
this.
need a
Exactly.
purpose.
Yeah.
That is what I love. So
Yeah.
you need a purpose.
Yes.
So is it a purpose as individuals and purpose for the marriage?
So we first talk about purpose as individuals. So we talk about, first of all, you tell the men, this is very weighty for you because you're going to lead this family.
Yes.
You can't lead if you don't know where you're going.
That is
right?
very true.
And we tell the women, don't just think that because the men lead that you're just going to sit there, look pretty, and the man is going to come and sweep your...
No, you're an
you are
adapter.
contributing.
Me, I
right?
believe you're an adapter. You know,
Exactly.
I used to like doing that. I used to be invited to bridal showers, and I used to do that.
Yes.
Like it's an adapter. You
Oh,
see, you need
such
it's
a
a
powerful
fit.
illustration,
You see,
yes.
because you have to adapt to
Yes.
this man and to the vision, and then help him to fulfill his
Exactly.
vision. The adapter even allows you to plug in many other instruments.
Yeah.
So that's why we are the ones who are gifted in multitasking.
Exactly.
You
And
know?
it's a very powerful role.
Very powerful.
Many times women look at that term help and they think it's a lower term. And we say it's the only other term that is used to describe the Holy Spirit in the
Yes, the
scriptures.
help.
You know, helper.
That's powerful.
The Holy Spirit is a helper.
He's a helper.
And it's a very integral role for the Godhead to work. And therefore, for a marriage, it's a very integral role for a marriage to work, that
That's
the
so
woman
true.
brings that. And so we tell them, you need to be plugged in this as individuals. So that by the time you come in, a woman wrote to me this week and told me, you know, Ernest, I'm getting married next year and I'm in an existential crisis. Why? My man knows what exactly he's here on earth to do and I don't. And I've realized that I'm just looking forward to this big wedding, and I'm afraid when that wedding day is done,
That's it.
I'll be purposeless.
I have nothing else
I
to
will
look
crash.
forward to. And because I want to slow it down there, because I want them to wait for the next one, one. But I remember I like teaching using movies because I love movies. If I had time, I would make movies. Movie director is me. But in Coach Carter, there's a place he asks them who won the championship, basketball champ, because that's all these young men were living for. Was to win the state championship. But he asked them who won last year. They couldn't say. Who won the year before? We don't say. But this is what we want. So he was trying to give them a vision beyond the basketball championship. That you guys have to think about college. You have to go and work. You've got to make something of your life. So I like that. So because there's another lady who we need to bring on one day. She has a ministry called Beyond the Wedding Day. So it's not about just that day. What's going to happen after this day? So I like the truth of that woman. Now I want you to wait because I love the next chapter. I love it so that you come back next Thursday so Ernest can tell us. We're going to end on you need to wait. That is powerful because we're in a generation that doesn't like waiting. God bless you. Hope you're learning. See you next Thursday. God bless.